Hello, welcome to the Hay Fever Survivors podcast.
Is that what we're calling it now?
It's a little warm. We are actually technically called Skill Check.
We are called
We
Skill
are
Check.
a positive gaming podcast from YMCA Exeter. We are feeling a little bit warm today,
Yeah.
just like probably
This is
everyone
Andy and I'm Becky.
else. Oh yes,
That's, just
Yes.
introduce ourselves, yeah. You don't know us if you haven't met us before.
If this is your first time, my name's Andy,
And my name is Becky.
and our intros are normally a lot more professional. than this.
Professional, yeah.
I am blaming the heat.
It's
and
warm.
Hay fever.
It is warm. And we both suffer from hay fever.
Yes.
So it's been an interesting week, let's put it that way.
Yes.
Yep. It's been I love sunshine though, so that's really difficult for me because I love sunshine. But hay fever really will get you.
Becky, stay safe out there. Stay in, play Animal Crossing.
Stay in, play Animal Crossing. That is the new theme. Stay inside and play Animal Crossing.
Yes. I am not 100%
We didn't-
sure if that is the official
absolutely not.
advice.
We did not talk last week about going out because I feel like that's important. Going out, playing games that you go outside with.
So coming up, we have we are actually talking a lot about games that make you go for a walk
It's true.
as part of the game.
Yeah, we are.
Not planned at all whatsoever.
Yeah.
We are also talking about maybe taking time away from screens,
What?
perhaps. But first things first, we have gaming news. Now we have gaming news.
Time for gaming news. Yeah. So our first piece of gaming news this morning, today, whatever it is, Friday,
Morning, afternoon,
afternoon,
whatever time.
you're watching this or listening to us. Our first piece of gaming news is Twitch. Twitch is scrapping its own advertising rules following a backlash that saw streamers leave the platform. The Amazon-owned live streaming service has said it would restrict the size of ads used by streamers who create content on Twitch. This would substantially reduce the way in which users could generate income on the platform. In a tweet viewed 3.4 million times, who knew there were still 3.4 million people on Twitter?
13.4
13! Sorry, I'm reading that
13.
wrong. 13. So who knew there were 13 million people still on Twitter? It called the new rules bad for you and bad for Twitch. Sponsorships are critical to streamers' growth and ability to earn income, it said. We will not prevent your ability to enter into direct relationship with sponsors, and you will continue to own and control your sponsorship business.
Well, that is how it works.
Yeah.
That is how this relationship between people who use stream on
Yeah.
Twitch
Yeah.
and people and Twitch themselves,
Mm.
how that works.
Yeah. I mean, it was a bit of a pitch by Amazon to get some more money from people.
Oh yeah.
There was a bit of like, if you embed your ad into your thing, I think it was you don't have to pay Amazon or something like that. And then if there's another version where you do have to pay Amazon, and what they're trying to do is increase the one where you have to pay Amazon and the one where you don't have to pay Amazon. So it's not.
But if they want people streaming, as much as they do, people need money to, buy stuff.
Yeah.
And if they can't have money to buy stuff, then they'll need to do something else.
Yeah. And some streamers who have already left the website have decided they're not going back because of this. So we'll see what happens, but it could be a bit of a thing for Twitch. So yeah. And our second piece of gaming news is Apple Gaming. So Apple has created a new game porting toolkit that is similar to the work Valve has done with Proton and Steam Deck. The tool will instantly translate Windows games to run on Mac OS, allowing developers to launch an unmodified version of the Windows game on a Mac and see how well it runs before fully porting the game. Apple dropped the news at its Worldwide Developers Conference this week, and the new game porting toolkit provides an emulation environment to run your existing unmodified Windows games, and you can use it to quickly understand the graphics features, usage, and performance potential of your game running on a Mac.
Well, that's just good news for game developers and
Yeah,
people
well,
who want the game on a Mac.
It makes it a lot easier for you to then transfer your games over. I mean,
Yeah.
when the Worldwide Developers Conference, we haven't included a lot of the stuff that was announced at the Worldwide Developers Conference this week for fun reasons, which we're not sure about whether it. I mean, I don't know whether it's. So the big announcement was that they're having this.
So it's the AR headset.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like a VR headset in which kind of it's a thing you put over your head, you look into it, and you have like virtual reality type stuff, but it mixes in with the background.
Weirdly, unlike some of the others, it is completely see-through. So it's like a thing that you can see through, and you have like virtual computer screens in front of you, and you can do stuff on your virtual computer screens. And then you can see the advert is like, you see your child playing football in the kitchen, which, it's very, so, I mean, potential applications are quite interesting, but we'll see. I mean, gaming-wise, I guess it's another sort of VR.
It's not going to be a mass market thing for a while.
Yeah, and it's going to be very expensive.
Only about £2,800.
Yeah, but I did say Andy and I were like texting back and forth about this, and we did say that potentially it's like buying a new computer, isn't it? Rather than actually.
And the rest.
Yeah. MacBooks have always been expensive, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, the kit itself is meant to be very, very good, but the price of it makes me wonder if they are really intending on selling that many, and if it's just a developer's thing right now to see what people can do with it before they start looking at how to adapt the technology. Maybe it'll be cheaper. It's like maybe stuff behind it will be cheaper in a few years' time. Maybe there'll be like a non-pro version, so it's cheaper anyway. We'll see. Yeah. But I mean,
it's coming anyway, so we'll probably have more conversations about this at some point. Our last piece of gaming news is subscription services. Rather than being the future of gaming, it seems like subscription services like Game Pass and PS Plus are suffering the same problems as TV subscriptions. There have been reports that Game Pass is missing its internal targets, and now an industry analyst claims that not only have subscription sales stalled, but that at the same time, traditional sales of AAA games have done exceptionally well in 2023. According to the same data analyst, spending on subscriptions in the US was up only 2% on the previous year in April, suggesting that services have reached a ceiling and that it's becoming increasingly difficult to find new subscribers. It's becoming clear that users would rather spend their leisure time on new games rather than just what happens to be on Game Pass or PS Plus. There is also a view in Microsoft that games being put on Game Pass reduces the likelihood that people will buy them at full price.
I mean, that's all fair enough, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the only thing I'd argue is that it's not necessary that subscription services have hit a ceiling. It's maybe that the ceiling's kind of almost coming down.
Yeah.
Because just like Netflix and other subscription services, people are looking at these subscription services and going, can we afford this? Is there enough package that will do the job? Should we get rid of this for the time being?
Yeah.
And plus, we are coming out of whatever the last 3 years was.
Yeah.
There will probably be more AAA games coming out now compared to the last couple of years anyway. Just because, hey, pandemic.
Yeah. It
limited
did.
Games.
So the article did say that there's been a lot of big games this year that have been released. And actually they've done very well. So we talked about Zelda. We haven't talked about many of the others, but Diablo 4 is coming out. Street Fighter 6. So these big names,
the Harry Potter game was massive at the start of the year.
People would rather
throw that in.
Last of Us on the PC as well.
Yeah,
and Last of Us got more rating, sold more again as well because of the TV series. So there's a lot of big games that are coming out as well that potentially people want to spend money on, and actually they don't want to spend money on it. They'd rather have the actual game rather than spending money on their Game Pass. So it's
something to look out for, and it's a definite kind of look at the state of gaming and how people game. and how people access and spend their money, which I think is very much a collection of what we're here for. So yeah, let's keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
So it's been suggested by somebody that we mention screen breaks. Which I feel so hypocritical talking
because
about.
Andy, are you very good at having screen breaks? That's a no, isn't it? That's a no head nod.
I mean, personally or professionally?
I mean, professionally, maybe a bit better than personally. Do you think?
Probably not
both
great
equally bad.
either. And it's not like most of my hobbies also feature
screens.
I mean, heck, if I'm reading a book, it's on a screen.
Yes, that's true these days.
Exactly.
Do you have? I mean, I have a Kindle, and that is a paperweight, so it's a papery Kindle, so it doesn't look like a screen.
No. It's a Fire. It's a Kindle Fire.
Oh, okay.
And even then, I might just end up using the Kindle app on my phone anyway. So
wow, you do have a lot of screens in your life.
Well, yeah, and just to make it worse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just to kind of prep and plan for this.
Yep.
I googled screen breaks.
Okay.
Because obviously I know nothing about screen breaks.
Yeah.
So, and here's what I found.
Okay.
Take short breaks often rather than longer ones less often. So, for example, 5 to 10 minutes every hour is better than 20 minutes every 2 hours.
Okay. Your face is telling me that you do 20 minutes every 2 hours and you're not very good at the 5 to 10 minutes every hour.
I mean, I like to think that looking away from the screen is also a helpful thing, but it's probably not a full-blown 5 to 10 minutes every hour thing at all.
Okay.
So I'm feeling a little bit awkward talking about this.
Yeah.
Because I'm not exactly one to preach. I mean, I know what I just read out is probably good advice.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it probably doesn't do our eyes any good to look at. I mean, we all know that, really. I mean, glasses, if I take glasses off, I can't see much.
Yeah, me neither.
And it's like, well, but maybe there is something to be said to having days broken up a bit more. I mean, I know earlier on I kind of did a little bit here, and then I did a few other bits around our little studio space.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something to be said for game, job. Yeah.
I mean, I think there's so many screens in everyone's life, aren't there? So I can at one point in my day have 3 screens looking at me.
Yeah.
So I can have my iPad, and then I can have my 2 computer screens for my laptop, and then I've got 2 phones. I'm going to look both phones. There's so many screens in things now. I think it is just good to walk away, go make a cup of tea, look at something else other than a screen. It'd be an interesting challenge to see whether you can go and make a cup of tea without picking up your phone and looking at Facebook or Instagram or something on your phone for the 5 minutes that you're making a cup of tea. Because if you're having a screen break, it should be from all the screens.
Do me a favour.
Yeah.
Forget about this conversation because I'm slightly worried you're going to ask me about this next week.
And I also think that if you see Andy making a cup of tea and he's on his phone, get him be like, Andy, what are you doing? Put your phone down. Make a cup of tea without, look at the windows. Look at the world. There's a nice view from outside your office. Go and just stare at that for 5 minutes. I think, and that's probably good advice for everyone, is just go and look outside for 5 minutes, go and look at some trees or look at the traffic. I quite often watch the traffic outside my house for 5 minutes, which sounds really creepy. But it's quite fun to watch the cars just work out what they're trying to do.
Actually, you got a little roundabout.
Watching. Yeah. I think it's just good to find other things to look at for 5 minutes. Just I also think it's good for your brain, as in it gives you that reset of moment. Okay, my brain's not really functioning, which quite often happens with me. I just stare at a screen all day and my brain's not really functioning anymore. And then, but that walk away.
I'm very aware of what I told you earlier about what I was like.
Yeah.
yesterday. Yeah, okay.
That walk away for 5 minutes and come back for 5 minutes is actually a good chance to reset that and go, okay, actually, this is my moment to take that 5 minutes off. And I think if you feel like you're getting stuck with something, it's good to walk away and come back again. And that's advice for you. That's advice for me. That's advice for everyone in the world. But, practice what you preach, Andy.
Tune in next week to see how I actually did with making a cup of coffee and not looking at my phone.
I'm sure we will give you an update on that.
Hopefully not.
And now it's time for Andy's Game of the Week. Andy, what is your game? And I'm dreading this because I know what it is, and I can't.
Okay, we're not going to talk about that yet.
Okay,
we're going to talk about slow gaming.
Slow gaming, nice. Yeah. What is slow gaming, Andy?
It's a term that's used for video games that offer things like a walkthrough through the woods.
Nice.
Maybe a walk through like a deserted village or someone's parents' house.
Nice.
Games that kind of turn you into a bit of a wanderer.
Okay.
And can have things like lots of walking.
Yep.
Lots of riding.
Yep.
And generally have a bit of a slower rhythm. So video games have this kind of, I don't want to say bad press, but stereotype. Which is everything's got to be fast all the time.
Yeah.
Slow games are the exact opposite of that. So it kind of makes a point of slowing the pace down.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
It's catching. So I have this historic thing where I cannot say Red Dead, and every time it comes up.
Now I've done it.
And every time it comes up, I stumble on it. So we've done it in the news a few times, and we've done it in like other things a few times, and I cannot say it.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
That's what it is.
Is one of those games.
Yeah.
That, and I'm going to get to the other aspects of it in a second, but as a gaming mechanic, it makes you kind of take long walks on your horse.
Nice.
Kind of makes you go and walk over like canyons and through forests and things like that, and
you can see a lovely picture of a horse.
You get to hang out in tents. Yeah,
you can see it.
And if you're watching on YouTube right now, you see it actually in the tents, and it's quite reflective.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Compared to some of the other games that we've mentioned during this slot, it is a mature game.
Yeah.
And I don't just mean because of language or violence, which is what people normally think of when they hear about mature games and 18-rated games and things like that. This game has that.
Yeah.
Not, I would argue, not in abundance.
Mm-hmm.
But it also has things like mental health. It covers things like alcoholism. It discusses ethics. It also has the question if it's too late to start again.
Wow.
So quite mature themes.
That is quite a mature theme.
Underpin this game what looks like playing cowboys.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's an interesting trend, isn't it? Like we're going back to these sort of slower moving open world. Like we talked about it. So we talked about Zelda a lot, but like
games to get lost in.
Yeah, and like things that are very like you just go and you wander around and you have a look and you don't necessarily do anything. You just might go and explore for a bit. And I think it seems to be an ongoing trend with gaming that we're going back to this sort of.
And here I am going on my horse.
Here you are on your horse. Look at that.
Just
going for a little.
I have edited out a bit of a gunfight.
Nice. Okay.
In amongst all of this because don't want to see.
Yeah.
Necessarily see that, but. In itself, the gunfight was quite It was very kind of. It wasn't graphic compared to some other video games we could talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Where is it available, Andy?
It is available. I want to say everywhere.
Everywhere.
Not on Switch, but it's available on your PlayStations, Xboxes, PCs.
Yeah. Great. And that is all we have time for with our lovely podcast today. So we are, if you want to find us on social media, we are at YMCA Exeter and at YMCA Exeter Games. If you want to find us on Instagram, you can also find us on YouTube at YMCA Exeter Games. If you're listening online, and if you are watching on YouTube, feel free to comment or subscribe or let us know about your favourite games in the comments below. And we will see you next week.
Catch you then.